Hey friends, welcome to Andy's Audio Crap, where we talk about audio stuff, and today we have a Lafayette. Don't see many Lafayettes around here. It's mostly like a East Coast thing. Occasionally you will see them. I'm in the Midwest, so a lot of them didn't make it out here to the Midwest. Lafayette, if you're not familiar, is kind of like they were like a Radio Shack, a really small Radio Shack. There's a couple of videos about the Lafayette history. It's quite interesting. They weren't necessarily like a high tier brand. They did create a couple of monster receivers, I'm pretty sure. Some people really enjoy the Lafayette sound. In my opinion, it sounds very much like the Yamaha. I did some Yamaha reviews on other videos. They're pretty good. I think as an all-around receiver, wonderful. Now, is it like particularly punchy or bright or anything like that? I would say no. It's very blended. So this particular Lafayette is the LR-3030. I'm pretty sure this is a 30 watt into 8 ohm. And I'm fairly certain it handles everything from 4 ohms all the way to 16. I think that's the rating on it. I don't know, I go through so many of these, and I do look them up, but just to make sure I'm not hooking them up wrong. So this one has 2 channels out. So when I say 2 channels, it's like A and B, so you can hook 4 speakers up to it. It does use stereo mono, which is pretty cool. I like to listen to mono occasionally. And then it has the phono, or the phones, headphones out specifically here. So this is your power switch over here. So one of the things about power switches that are hooked up to your channels, instead of being an independent switch, that knob is doing 2 different things. Well, in this case, many different things, but the way that it works is there's a long prong that goes back into the receiver, and it hits both a power switch in the back, which is just your on off, and then in the front is the actual selector switch for all of the phones or the channels. Sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit here, but in some receivers, it's actually a switch just connected to a gear. So there's like, it's running just a regular old switch like these switches. But in this case, it's actually a round switch. And it's just seating in its position and selecting what it's been, well, selected. We have to break into the video right now to thank today's sponsor, the makers of Crap Screw You Kit. This is a bucket of screws left over from disassembling many turntables. This is a box of screws from receivers that have been parted out, and I can't even keep it up. All right, so this is like just a bunch of crap that I had sitting around. I was going to try to make a joke out of it, but it isn't turning out really well. Look at all these damn pucks in here. Oh my god, dude. Like, okay, there's a Techniques, there's a Sony. Oh man, I'll bet there's somebody out. There's a Kenwood. Here's a Techniques. It's like brand new in the plastic still. And then there's like all kinds of, like, there's some knobs. Wonder what one that one went to. And then there's, let's see here. What is this? This is, I don't even know what this is. God knows what this came out of. All right. Anyways, it's supposed to be funny. Probably. All right. I'm laughing. I hope you're laughing. We're all laughing together. Please forgive the mockery. On with the show. Has bass, mid, and treble. The issue with this particular Lafayette is that getting by this and getting in here across these meters is really difficult. So I could not get deoxid into both channels on the bass. So as a result, it's staticky on the left channel. And I try and put time into these that merits the expense. So in this case, this Lafayette is going to sell for about $150. I'd already put a couple hours into it. That's where I draw a close. Very, very clean, and it presents so well. Has, again, bass, mid, treble. You don't see mid on a lot of receivers that are only like the 30 watt and lower. So that's kind of a big thumbs up for Lafayette. Balance. The volume control knob is nice and you know, it's big. It stands out. Now, I did have to take the faceplate off of it to do the service on this, and I'll tell you, this is like one of the chunkiest station dial knobs that I have had. It is solid aluminum, and it's heavy. It's almost like I don't know. Here, let me pull one of these out here. It's almost like one of these that you have for your turntable. So volume here again, and you have your loudness, your stereo mono, your high filter on off, which is you're primarily going to use this with phono, maybe cassette, so it could act kind of like a Dolby. And then you have your tape A and B, and then you have your FM mute on, and then over here you have your phono and aux. Now, one thing that I really, really do not like about not turntables, but receivers set up like this is when the phono and the aux are on opposite sides, and I have to shift through the FM AMs to get between the two, primarily because I usually forget to turn the volume down when I'm doing that. And the radio tends to be louder than both the aux and the phono, so I end up scaring the living daylight out of myself when I'm switching them. So here, let's do that. You hear that? Okay, so how does it sound? Again, very neutral, great, awesome sauce. You'll see on these particular speakers, which are DBX 1/2s, I have the bass turned up a little bit, the mid turned up a little bit, and the treble way up, and the loudness is on. But it does sound really good. It has a presence, and these vintage speakers actually look the part and sound really good as well. But you can still hear a little bit of fogginess in it. All right, so the turntable, the phono amp in this thing is wonderful. Let's just kick this off. I have just an AT3600 on this, and nothing special going on here. Just a regular old Audio Technica. On this receiver, I would say that the phono actually sounds better than the CD player coming in through aux. I'll put money on that's because that phono preamp in there is probably maybe a little bit different and changes the sound just a little bit. I have had it hooked up with a Rolls input onto the aux, and it sounded way better than the CD as well. So aux just doesn't sound as good as phono in on here. So good stuff. This is a really good receiver. If you're looking for an entry-level receiver that has like a really, you know, heavy presence, this thing pops. It's pretty large too. So not necessarily like your Yamaha or, let's see here, any of your other small size amps, your 1515, your 1000, you guys know hopefully what those are in reference to. Marantz and what's the other one? Somebody put it down in the comments. Gosh darn it, the 1000. Gosh, I'm drawing blanks. Man, it's, you know what? Sleep is good, and I haven't had any recently. So, thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope this convinced you that you know, Lafayette should be a contender if you're looking for that good neutral sound. And have a good day.